Welcome back to the garage, everybody. My name is Zach, this is Rhino Exploration, and I've got something special for you guys for today, so stay tuned. Everybody, I am so happy you guys are here. So before we get to what we have going on, I'm going to tell you once again that we are in the garage. The door is open. It is 3 o'clock. Rush hour has begun here in Denver, so there may be some car noise as people are coming home from work. I do apologize. There's nothing I can do about it, so oh well. I'm just gonna have to roll with it. All right, guys, have you ever pressed on your gas pedal and wanting to either go around somebody or just trying to get somewhere, or you just want to see how fast your rig will go, and you press on it and you just have that, few second lag before, anything happens, before that gear drops, before the throttle responds to what you're doing? I have that issue. I know others have. And as you guys know, I have the 2-liter turbo in my Jeep, and I know some of y'all just love that engine all so much. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's what I got. But this issue isn't only found in the 2-liter turbo, it is also found in the 392 and in the Pentastar V6 that Jeep runs. I had a company reach out to me and I decided to do a collaboration with them. And what they do and what they specialize in is throttle control modulators. So basically it is a system that we plug into the throttle response of the Jeep, into the computer and the throttle, and it quickens the throttle response on the Jeep. So when you press that pedal, that lag is greatly reduced. It's not eliminated, it is reduced. And so what we are going to do is we are going to be installing that onto the Jeep. Now this company is a company called Windbooster. They reached out to me probably about a month ago, and we started working things out, and they sent me this. I actually got this towards the end of last week, but I had so many different things going on in our trip that we haven't gotten to it. So today is the day we're going to be getting to this product. I'm very excited. So here in a second, we are going to unbox this, and we're going to talk about the components that come in this, the installation process. Then what we're going to do is we're going to install it in the Jeep, because it isn't very difficult. I haven't installed this yet, but I have looked at the instructions. I have looked at other videos of people installing it just to make sure that I'm doing it correctly, and it is not a difficult process whatsoever. So we're going to install this, and then the goal is going to be tomorrow to go out and give this thing a good shakedown with this modulator. Now, as you guys heard me say, it is 3 o'clock. Rush hour in Denver has begun. So unless time permits this evening, we'll see, because traffic tends to go longer on Tuesdays. This evening we may go test it out, but it won't be doing it justice, so we probably will do this in the morning after traffic has ended. We will get out there and we will go ahead and test this product out. I am very excited. So let's get to unboxing this product. So today we do not have my fancy dancy table. I didn't want to break it out. And because I can't permanently leave the table up or have a table in here, because the garage is only a 2-car garage, we're going to use the hood of the D100. Because why not? Out the gate, I like how the company has started off with the box. Now, I've done some research in this company. They have quite a few good, they have some good reviews, and their products have been tested by many people, and I'm just another person that gets to test this out and share it with you guys. Because going out there, not a lot of people have tested this on Jeeps. So I'm very excited to see what it does. But right out the gate, the box is pretty good. It feels like a box that your phone comes in when you buy a new phone. But right here on the front, let's see if I can get this to focus. You have the stuff for Apple phone and Android. And what these little QR codes do is you scan them and it gives you the app. Because right here, if you see, Bluetooth. So this means that I can operate this system off of my phone and being able to scan it ensures that I get right to the app that I need. I don't have to search and find all the half fake apps that aren't what you're looking for. So this is actually going to show me. But so far, it's pretty nice. So let's open up this box. Alright, so we have our instructions. It's decently it's got some decent instructions. Got some pictures that's labeled actually 1 all the way through 8, and then you flip it over and you have 9 through 14 on the back. And literally, the instructions range from kicking the camera, range from your glossary to what the product is, what you have, disclaimers, how you should install it, use it, so on and so forth. Quite handy. I have read through these because I did want to make sure I was going to use the product correctly and that everything should be good to go. It's actually pretty interesting. There are a lot of different settings on this, which we will get to shortly because there are a lot. But let's finish the unboxing first. So first, instructions. Second, in this little foam pad, this is a nice little foam pad, we have the little interface screen. See here, there he is. The little interface screen, this is what plugs into the throttle module, and you can control it, the different modes, the settings, basically how the speed or of the throttle response and things like that. The nice thing is because it is Bluetooth, this isn't necessarily needed. So if you weren't going to run Bluetooth, you have this, you plug this in, it's going to tell you everything that your phone will tell you, and it plugs in using, basically it's like an iPhone charger port that you'll find on here, and on the back it's got some sticky tape so you can stick this someplace. And this is actually quite small, like literally guys, palm of my hand. This is a very small unit, so if you wanted to use this, all you gotta do is stick it somewhere and it pretty much will stay out of the way, and well, just make sure that surface area is clean before you put that sticky on there, because you know how sticky things are with dusty, dirty surfaces. It tends to fall off. So we have that. And another piece of cardboard. We have the brains of the operation. So, this is our brains of our operation. This plugs into the throttle. Let's see, will she focus on me? There you go. So this plugs into your throttle. This is what operates the computer of your throttle. This plugs into it. This plugs into the power supply and the computer to top it off. And this is your Bluetooth sending unit. So this is what is sending the communications to your phone. So when you change things on your phone, it changes this, which then results in things happening. And then this cable is the cable if you wanted to plug it into the interface. Now if you don't use the interface, zoom this out a little bit, there is this. You can unplug this and delete this whole wire completely and then just zip tie this up out of the way. And yes, they do provide you 2 zip ties. I probably will not use these zip ties just because I don't like white zip ties, and these are very tiny. I'll probably use just 1 big zip tie, but they do provide you 2 zip ties, which is nice. And that is all that is in the box, guys. This is the brains of the operation. This is all you get within the box are these components. Now let's take a look in the Jeep and show you where this is supposed to be hooked up, and then we'll hook it up. Alright guys, now we are in the footwell of the driver's side, and bear with me because we are going to be doing this with a flashlight, because as you guys know, being in a vehicle in the dark areas, nothing ever shows on the camera. So here's your guess. Here's our throttle pedal right here. That, what the light is shining on and my finger is pointing at, this is the sending unit for the throttle. And then right up here is the plug, basically, of the Jeep's throttle control system that runs to the ECU. Is that kind of purplish red thing there. So let me see, can I get it up there for you guys? That right there. So basically what we're gonna do with that little purple red part is it is a locking clip. So we're gonna pull that clip out and disconnect this piece from the throttle unit. And what we will do, bear with me, we're moving. What we're going to do is we're going to take the T unit here, and this is going to plug into the original basically plug or wire unit of the Jeep that runs to the ECU, and this is going to plug into the throttle sending unit down there that I just showed you, because there's that kind of purplish red clip that we will undo and plug this in. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we are going to get in there and disconnect it. Now I'm going to apologize. I'm going to try and film it as best I can, disconnecting it and plugging everything in. Tight area, very little light. I will do my best, so bear with me. But you guys get the general concept, and once it's all done, I will show you, and it'll make more sense also what I'm talking about. So if we pull this clip, okay, as you guys can see, the clip has been pulled, and this should pop right off. So here is that wire unit that runs to the ECU of the Jeep, and here's our throttle control module that is on to the pedal here. So what we're going to do now is grab our T. Here's our T. This is what the Windbooster sent us. And I am undoing this clip so that it'll sit out there. So, let's see if I can get my big old hand up here. All right. Come on, thing. There we go. All right, so, all right, bear with me, guys. My other flashlight wasn't doing it justice for me. So there's our throttle controller. We just plugged in, see that purple part right there? We just plugged in the Windbooster system into that. You see this one right here, this is the old one that runs to the ECU of the Jeep. We have not plugged that cable yet into there, because that is going to plug into there. And then we will move over to the phone and the app, and then we will turn everything on and get it all connected. Here is our ECU sending module for the Jeep, plugged in with the smaller end of the plug off of that T-harness. Right here is the box, that square Bluetooth transmitter that controls the throttle part, and here is the plug for the Windbooster. See if I can get my hand out of the way, it'll focus. There you go. It's right there. That is plugged into the sending unit of the Jeep. So now what we have to do is turn on the Jeep and access the phone. So let's go ahead and move over to the phone first, then we'll turn on the Jeep and make everything work from there. After I scanned, because I have an Android, I scanned that QR code, it opened up the Google Play Store, and I was able to download the app. Here it is. And once you click the app, now I've already opened the app. This is what the interface looks like when you get it. Now, when you first open the app, it is going to ask you to either manually input or scan your barcode here. And it is reading off the last numbers, which registers it to your device. And then we'll open up this interface just like this. And these are all the different modes. So here in a second, once we start the Jeep, it should automatically connect to the device. So let's find out now. So let's start the Jeep. Jeep is started. So it should go looking. And because we have the mount here, let's see how long it takes it to connect, shall we? It is scanning. I guess this is the device. I don't know. Some of this all says unknown, and then it found this. And it's got this little Japanese symbol. And that kind of looks like a certificate. Let's press it and see what happens, shall we? Oh, Bluetooth is starting. Things are happening. There we go. As you can see, it is stated. Let's get you zoomed in here so we can see. In normal, we have, if we touch here, goes to Sport, Sport Plus, Race, touchy, Drag, Auto, Volt, Anti-Slip, Econ, and normal. So we will give this a test, and then down here you have the ratings so you can adjust. So let's put it in sport. It'll allow me to adjust, as you guys will be able to see, what level of sport I want it at. So it has 0 through 9, so basically you have 10 levels. Nothing all the way to 9, and you can choose. And we will see just what happens here in a little bit when we go for a drive and test this out. In case you didn't want to use your phone or whatnot, this is what that little module screen looks like. You got normal, S, auto, or A, and a little lock screens. But so let's do two things here at once. Let's see if we can. It is connecting. Did it find? It found, yay! Okay, so here's our little screen here. I just stopped focusing on my fingers. There it is. So if I hit sport, it is going to change it automatically on here. Sport Plus, changed it right here. Normal, changed it back. So you can change all these things with these buttons here. So mode, and this is the strength. So this is that 1 through 9 that we see right here. That's what that does, is you can adjust it. So if you wanted to just have this plugged in and you wanted to mount it somewhere, you could and have it that way. I personally am not going to use this because I have Bluetooth and my phone's always right there, and this is a lot easier to do. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this and this wire, and we're going to zip tie all the other stuff, which is right down there, out of the way. So one thing to note about the system before you start messing with it while you're moving, the instructions state that you should not be moving at fast rates when you are changing the settings. So going from sport plus, it literally states that either come to a stop or be driving very slowly, which I conclude that to being between like 5 miles an hour, 0 and 5 miles an hour. To switch the modes, it states that, you know, it could damage systems if you are trying to switch between those going at faster rates, because the throttle is accustomed to that one, and if you switch it all of a sudden, it has to try and adjust itself, and it doesn't always work out. So make sure you do it that way. The other thing to note is if you're ever going to disconnect this, let's say you got to take your vehicle in, you got to do any things, put it back in normal mode first before disconnecting. Though when you plug it back in, everything should be normal, but if you leave it in, let's say sport or sport plus mode, and disconnect it, you could possibly mess with the computer's thinking when you plug in the original ECU into the Jeep's throttle control unit again. It could mess with it, and it may think all over the place, and you could get error codes all over your, for your Jeep, and then you'll have to get it serviced. So just another note, please put it in normal. So we are out driving, giving this a test, and we are currently in sport, and I have it all the way cranked up to 9. And so far, the throttle has been responding pretty well. It is a lot quicker changing and things like that, especially from takeoff. We actually tripped the tires taking off, and I barely put any throttle into it. So we may turn that down. Here we go, we're turning. Yeah, this thing takes off a lot quicker. And we're only in sport. So I'm curious to see what happens when we turn it over to Sport Plus. But we're gonna drive down this road a little bit here, and we will turn here shortly. But it is much more responsive, I must say. The throttle is picking up a lot quicker. It is got less lag. Normally when I turn and press on the gas, it take a little bit, and for it to get up to speed, this is like climbing speed very quickly, and it is responding very well. I will admit, it is responding very, very well. I am very pleased at the moment with how this is responding. Alright guys, so let's take this and turn it to Sport Plus mode, and we'll put it at 4 to begin with and see how this goes, as we're going to enter back onto the road here in just a second. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to do. Wow. Sport Plus mode in 5. We are up and moving in at 45, 50 miles an hour almost. Well, we're at 45 and now we're at 50. That responded very well. Now, this could be a very dangerous thing, especially in a big rig like a Jeep, because I feel like this might be a gas mileage eater. But it is really nice. Let me get this right off the bat. It is nice to be able to hit up the speeds that I am looking to hit right out the gate, because normally I am delayed and lagging, and this is not lagging whatsoever. I am hitting the speeds right out the gate. There is not a lag. It is very much reduced. Now, the lag is not completely gone. When I say there's not a lag, it is so minute the lag does not feel like it's really there, is what I'm saying. But it is nice to be able to actually hit the speeds that we have been trying to go. Okay guys, let's get this open real quick. Let's do a quick test. Let's put this in normal. Normal, there we go. Normal, can't change it, no attributes, it's just like it normally would be. So we're gonna start off, and then we will change over to Sport and then Sport Plus and give that a try and see just how, much this thing takes off changing between those few. Okay, so we're gonna take this road and test it. So this is normal. This is what it normally would set off at. It's its typical speeds. And honestly, it literally, it's normal. There's nothing to write home about. This is just your pretty basic drive along turn, what the Jeep normally does. Stock factory out of the box. Okay, now we've come up to a light, which we will sit to wait to go through. And while we're waiting, we will come over here and we will get the camera to focus, and we will hit Sport and Sport. There we go. And let's crank that up to, let's put it at 9, why not? Because it's Sport. Actually, to make this test even, let's put Sport at 0. Okay, so it's just Sport out the gut box. No making it faster, not making it slower, just Sport itself. And see what it does to this. Here we go. So it is quicker to respond. It got up a lot quicker than when we were in normal mode, and this is, remember, Sport with nothing tuned to it. There's no adding it, making it faster. I've done none of those things whatsoever. We have come to a stop in a parking lot. Now let's change this over to Sport Plus. Come on. There we go. Now my phone's showing. So now we're in Sport Plus and 0. So just like everything else, normal was 0, Sport was 0, Sport Plus 0. Let's see how she does. So let's get over to the exit of this parking lot. And just pressing the pedal, just leaving that parking area, that was much quicker. All right. Ready to turn. And even more responsive than Sport was. All the gear changes, taking off, acceleration, if I just put my foot into it, that it doesn't really think too much. It thinks slightly, but not a whole lot, and it just gets it up and starts moving. Now, don't get me wrong, if we were to adjust the settings on it to, 9, 5, either on Sport or Sport Plus, it's going to react much quicker than it is right now taking off the line. But I wanted to make this a fair test across the board and just showing you what it is like just from, from normal all the way up to Sport Plus in 0. Because we've already seen what it looks like when you put numbers on it. I've already shown you guys that, and it responds very quickly. But just simply changing it to those two different modes so far without adding any extra to it, it is responding so well. Now, is there a massive difference between Sport and Sport Plus? Not huge. Not until you start adjusting the numbers. Then there's a bigger difference, but just in general, there is quite a bit of change definitely from normal to Sport and Sport Plus. Just there's minute when you're just at 0 between Sport and Sport Plus. Now, I, like most people, like putting my foot into the throttle pedal every once in a while. So let's just see what kind of happens. We're at 50. Oh yeah, less thinking, already at 60 miles an hour. Yeah, this thing is responding super well, guys. Super well. I'm very much liking this. I do enjoy the fact that response time between when I put my foot into the pedal and when the vehicle goes has been shortened. That is very nice. Mode. I'm very curious to see how the Jeep's going to respond in eco mode, because, you know, most eco modes, it's supposed to be economic, trying to help you gain some form of, you know, gas mileage, things of that nature. So, open up the phone, we're over here, eco. I'm noticing that I do have to press this twice generally for it to take. I wonder if it's because the Jeep's registering that it's slowing down. All right, so eco 9. Let's see just what happens. Oh Lord. Right out the gate. How is it gonna respond? Oh, you think the lag was bad? Stock normal out the gate. Holy crap, try eco mode. Yeah, I don't know if you'll save gas mileage, but you sure as heck will get passed by the old lady in her motorized scooter. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if in a big Jeep like this, eco mode's gonna help with gas mileage any. Unless you're looking to try and stop having a lead foot. Then it'll probably help you, because my goodness, this has got more lag than when you're in normal mode. Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous. It's kind of funny to do. This would be a cruel joke to do to somebody. Let them drive your Jeep while you have control of your phone and put it in eco mode and watch their face as they try and take off. Holy crap, that would be hilarious to do to somebody. I'm not saying do that, but it would be really funny to do to somebody. Oh my goodness, this is funny. Let's change this back to sport mode. Is it in sport? No, eco, sport. There we go. And we'll put it at 4, because why not? Let's see what happens, guys. Oh yeah, there's the response. Oh my goodness, it's like night and day difference. Holy cow. That's really cool. Wow, guys, just wow, that is a huge difference in the throttle response on the Jeep. Just by that little gizmo, you know, by plugging those in, switching it out, the throttle response was, I will say, it was dramatic. Now, I did those testing. We saw Sport Plus, Sport, we cranked them up. We went, you know, we started off at 4, went to 9 on both Sport and Sport Plus, and then we did our test from normal, 0, Sport, 0, and Sport Plus, 0, and then we also did an eco test. Now, what are my thoughts across all those tests? There is a big difference going from normal to sport. There is a drastic difference. Like the throttle response at normal, it is like any Jeep stock out the factory. It's got that lag, you go. Now don't get me wrong. If you have a 392 or the V6, your throttle response out the gate for normal is different than the 2-liter turbo. I understand that. But all of the Jeeps have some kind of throttle delay, because all new cars have throttle delay. And I must say that the difference between normal and sport was massive, especially here. I live at 6,000 feet elevation. Like my house sits at 6,000 feet. So there was, you know, I've already been experiencing even more delays in the throttle response just because there's less air for the turbo to take in. But when I switched it to sport, the delay was a lot less. Like it wasn't gone, it was just much less. And then the difference between Sport 0 and Sport Plus 0 isn't huge. There is a little bit. Like don't get me wrong, it takes off a little quicker and it goes through the gears just a hair bit faster, but there isn't a massive difference between the two. Now, when you start, like I said in the Jeep, messing with the numbers, you start going from 0 up. That is where Sport and Sport Plus become two separate things massively. Sport at 9, I could spin the tires going from a stop onward. In Sport Plus, I spun the tires going from first to second gear. which is pretty funny. And I didn't lay my foot into that throttle. Like, I didn't have it hammered down, let's see what can happen. It was just boop, boop. So there is a big difference, and the takeoff, the response from the throttle from Sport 9 and Sport Plus 9 was huge, huge. Like, it was night and day difference from normal, but those two on their own, there was a difference between the two, and you could feel it. Now, don't get me wrong, the Jeep's no faster. This doesn't increase your horsepower in any means necessary. It just means that that response time between you pressing down on the throttle and the Jeep responding is much shorter. And at Sport Plus at 9, there was a hair-second delay. It wasn't gone. I could still tell there was a slight delay where the Jeep had to think about it for a second. But it was super, super short. It was nothing like it is in normal where you take off, or if you're driving down a 2-lane road and you want to pass that big rig that's in front of you because, you know, he's cruising at less than the speed limit, and you press down and you're like, come on, drop the gear, all right, here we go. This, you could press in, it's going to drop that gear and take off. Now, we did have a little bit of fun with eco mode, but I wasn't truly kidding when I said a grandma with her power scooter could probably pass you. I'm dead serious. I put that in eco mode and it was worse than normal. Like, you pressed on the gas and the Jeep didn't just think about it. The Jeep decided to order a cup of coffee, go sit outside on the veranda and drink it slowly while it thought about your decision to hit the gas pedal, wondering if it wanted to go or not. So if you have a lead foot and you don't want to burn your gas, I guess eco mode would work in the sense of you're saving gas because it's not letting you take off. But in the long scheme of things, do I think eco mode would save you gas? I would say only if you have a lead foot. Honestly, if you have a lead foot and you put that in eco, shoot, you could put that in normal mode and you'd be like, holy crap, after playing in sport or sport plus mode. But if you were to put that in eco mode, yeah, you're definitely probably going to save some fuel if you have a lead foot. Don't get me wrong, it's just what I think. Now, we did not test some of the other settings. That is going to be for another day because I want to take the Jeep out onto the other roads that actually have much bigger gaps between the lights, so we can test those out, because things like race mode, if it's changing the throttle response to be even quicker than Sport Plus, I don't want to be on a city street trying to mess with that, just because I don't want to endanger, one, myself, or two, other people around me, because I don't want to be hauling up their butt and having to brake really quickly if somebody's in front of me, where if I'm on one of the bigger roads or one of the main county roads out near my house, no one's typically on them during the day most of the time, so we can go out and test those. So that is what we will do tomorrow when we go out and test those, because we did get out later this evening and go test the Jeep out, which was awesome to see. Good morning, guys. We are going to finish testing the Windbooster today. It is about 10 o'clock, which means that the roads are clear. Everyone's gone to work and we have done everything. So yesterday, as you remember, which would have been a blink of the eye, we did all the testing of normal, sport, sport plus, how it accelerated from stop signs and stoplights and things like that. Today we're going to test them out more on a straight line, and just, you know, the typical acceleration from that, and if you had to accelerate to pass people, stuff like that. And then we were going to head up into the mountains just a little bit, not very far, and hit a couple of the little tiny easy trails up there just to see how it kind of performs on a trail, because like I said, we are off-road people. I want to know how this is going to perform on a trail for us. So that is what we were going to do, guys. So to begin, whoop, get my phone turned back on. Alright, you guys can see I'm in normal. We're gonna go right to Sport Plus mode. I'm figuring out that I have to touch this twice, like press it twice, and we'll put it at 6, why not? To start with, and we will head from the house over to the other road. Turning on to one of the main roads here, and let's test some acceleration. We got some vehicles to pass. Oh yeah. Nice and quick. And I like the fact that I don't have to try and stop right now for anything. And we are up to 60 miles an hour very easily. My goodness, that was quick. That was nice. That was very nice. Open road. accelerating. We were in Sport Plus, and we had it at 6. Now you guys know that I give you the truth about products. If I don't like them, I'm going to tell you. So far I have no negative comments to say about the Windbooster. You know, I think the only comical aspect of the Windbooster was the eco mode, which to me I thought was comical. But like right now, being in Sport Plus set at 6, if I am barely touching the gas pedal right now. Like I'm barely touching the throttle, and I know it's really hard to show you guys and be able to see a difference in the fact that touching that gas pedal and feeling the acceleration difference, it's hard to show it. And I know you guys have to just, you know, take what I'm telling you, and there is a difference. Like right now I'm barely touching it, and if I put my foot into it, the Jeep didn't think. Literally I just put my foot into it, it automatically started going. It didn't really think about it, and it sped up fairly quickly. Much quicker than if I was just driving it stock without having this plugged in, or put this in normal mode even, and take it back to its normal settings. The Jeep would have thought about it before it dropped the gear to start going. It just started to accelerate, and so far guys, it has been awesome. Alright guys, because I'm on one of these lovely roads that is bigger, I have the ability just to pull off to the side. It's not really busy. Alright, race mode. We're gonna start at 0 and see what it does, and then we'll click it up one. Alright, race mode, over. Oh wow. That's awesome guys. This thing took off, holy crap. Put it in race mode, and she was ready to scamper down this road like crazy. Wow, and the smallest touch. If I was to just move my big toe in my shoe, it responds so quickly. Wow. Holy cats, guys. Holy cats. Wow. Race mode, like I'm barely touching the accelerator, and my goodness, is it responding. Wow. Like she is definitely intensified. Definitely. Oh yeah. Wow. So I cranked it up to 5 in race mode. I think if there wasn't a vehicle in front of me, the Jeep would have launched itself and spun the tires. I'm just being honest. I think it would have spun the tires on launch. What happens when we get out onto the trail? I suspect there's going to be a difference, but is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? Do we want that throttle to think less on the trail, or do we want it to think more? So we're going to find out, guys. And you know, it also depends on everyone's experience level and you know how comfortable you are, but for the sake of testing this, we are going to thoroughly test it by putting this on dirt. Alright guys, welcome back, and we are on the trail. So what we are going to do is we are going to start messing with the different modes again. So let's get over to here, change, and let's start with sport mode. Double click it. There we go. Sport mode. I have it cranked at 9. Yeah, why not? Let's just leave it there. And let's see what happens. No cars behind me. Not bad. Some decent acceleration. I was expecting that. And the tires were kind of slipping a bit, which is awesome. All right, guys, that was sport. Double tap to ensure that it moves there. Come on. There we go. All right, Sport Plus. I'm just gonna leave it at my settings because these seem to be kind of the sweet spot numbers for the Jeep. And here we go. Oh, wow. Lot of tire spin, Oh yeah, tire spin, woo! Okay. We spun tires all the way through probably 3rd gear. My goodness. Alright guys, that was pretty cool. Now, Sport and Sport Plus mode out here on the dirt, probably not the wisest decisions to do. This trail that we are on is super easy. And honestly, in sport mode, the Jeep reacted pretty quickly. We spun tires in first gear, and we just, the Jeep responds very well to the dirt. When I put it in Sport Plus mode, that was when it got dangerous. We spun tires through gears 1 through 3, and after third gear, we stopped spinning tires. And the Jeep was responding really well, but you'd have a little going around some of these turns with the throttle responding that well may not be the wisest decision, because if you lose control, bad things could really happen, and I mean seriously bad things could happen. But it would make for really fun times. If you were somewhere in the desert where it was flatter and you had more of that Baja style terrain, this would be awesome to do it on. Just flip that thing into Sport Plus mode and just launch it through there and be in the dirt and everything. Or if you're in the sand dunes, it'd be great. Here in the Colorado forest, not so much. There's a lot of blind corners, lots of turns, and a lot of ditches that you could end up in, and that is not the goal. But overall, I like this product. This product really does eliminate that acceleration lag in the Jeep. Like I've said several times already, if your Jeep is your daily driver to and from work, to the stores, on the road, and you want to get rid of that lag, this definitely is going to get rid of that lag for you, and it's going to make it a lot more fun. It's going to make driving the Jeep more fun because it is more responsive without that wishing that you had maybe like a 392 or had it tuned up some. For me personally, having the 2-liter turbo, being up here in the altitude, being able to switch it to Sport or Sport Plus mode on the road really brings the Jeep back to life. When I moved here, like I said, I lost a lot of that kind of oomph that the turbo provided to the 2-liter because we're up in, I live at 6,000 feet right now. We are at about 9,000 feet altitude. And putting it in Sport and Sport Plus mode, though the turbo really, it doesn't tune the turbo any, the acceleration has come back and the Jeep feels more alive. So it has fixed that issue. And if it is your daily driver, you will have more fun in your Jeep on the road. Off-road, it can be a little dangerous. We just talked about it. But if you are looking at this to help improve that acceleration time, you are going to get that from this product. If you're looking for fuel economy, you're probably not going to find it because this does work. You're going to want to keep your foot in the Jeep all the time. Accelerating, your gas mileage is probably going to tank. Now, we did not do a super long, like put it in eco mode test and see if that improves your gas mileage in city driving. That I will do in a updated long-term review video. I think I will do a video here in another month or so of keeping this in the Jeep and seeing how it does, and I'll run it through a bunch of different various tests just to get it to you guys and to get you those facts. But for now, if you are looking to improve your acceleration, this is the product. If you would like to check out this product, there is a link in the description below. Go check them out, guys. They're not super expensive, and the product is super tiny, compact, and it, you guys saw me install it yesterday and clean it and keep it out of the way. It's not in the way, and it doesn't look tacky, and there's not wires anywhere. So it's pretty cool. And if you guys can help me out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. You guys are what's going to make that happen, and about 98% of everyone that watches the channel is not subscribed. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps me out immensely. And it, if you don't want notifications, just turn off the bell, but you'll get updates of when I post new videos, reviews, and on my adventures. If you guys want to continue on the journey with me, it doesn't end when I turn off this camera. Go ahead. In the description are links to my other social media platforms, and I post on them daily. I am always posting on them, keeping you guys up to date on what is happening currently in the time, because by the time these videos come out here, it's about 2 weeks behind. So I shoot this 2 weeks later, this video comes out, because that's just how long it typically takes me to edit the videos. So if you guys want to check those out, the links are in the description below. Thank you guys for joining me today. It has been a lot of fun over the past less than 24 hours, but over the past couple days of testing out this product. Guys, go ahead, check out the Windbooster site down in the description below and see what they have. Like I said, certain vehicles, it is going to be a little bit different just because of the years and the way the ECUs and computer systems were as they've progressed over time. But more than likely, if your car is newer, they have a product that will fit your car and help get rid of the acceleration lag. Now, like I said, I reviewed the Jeep because that's what I have, but their products do fit all sorts of different vehicles. So go ahead, check them out in the description below, guys. So far, it has been a super great product, and I've been very happy with it. And I will catch you all next time out on the trail.